Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope I'm not sounding too bad. I've just recently undergone a nasal surgery and I'm still actually in recovery, but I've got so much of stuff to do currently on YouTube, and it's been day 5 post surgery now, and I think I'm doing alright, although my nose is still a little bit blocked. So I hope I'm sounding okay. And I'm out just in one of the parks nearby where I live, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Carpuride W702BS, which Carpuride sent out to me for free for review. Now, as you guys are probably aware, I've been affiliated with Carpuride for about a year now, and somewhere last year I reviewed the 502 Pro version, which was with the BMW navigation cradle, but that was a basically it's just had the mount that goes on a navigation cradle, but that one doesn't have any compatibility with the wonder wheel function. Now, having said that, that was a very simple CarPlay unit, which basically is only there for the CarPlay side of things and doesn't really have anything extra in terms of reading off the motorcycle's native data and so on. So what Carpuride has done is they have then developed the 702, and there are two versions of this. There's a 7-inch version, which is a 702, and then there's also a 5-inch version, which is the 502. So they went and developed the 702BS version, B, which I assume it's for BMW, and I think what that means is it actually able to read from the actual native data. So they've actually in terms of the form factor, it's very much similar to the previous model. So you get the visor there, and same size and so on. What they have changed is they've actually got this BMW navigation point here, which seems to have been bespokely made for them, and it's now part of the actual case, and it's quite solid and steady. So they reached out to me and asked me if I would like to review one of these. And I've been a big user of the Chigee system for over a year now, and I do really like the Chigee system, but I was also interested to see how this thing would perform now that it's got the BMW compatibility, so the wonder wheel compatibility and so on. So I received this unit about close to 6 weeks now, and I have been playing around with it. If you have watched my video on the review of the BMW GS 900 and the GSA 900, F900GS and F900GS here, sorry, you would have realized that I actually ran this unit on the F900GS just to have a bit of a play with it, and I've been using it ever since, and I have been quite surprised with how this thing functions, and also the quality of what it offers, and also the price point. Now, having said that, in terms of the price point, at the moment, if you use my affiliate link, which I will put below, you will get a 32% discount, which is more than what you normally get from others out there, because generally you get about a 30% discount. But I've got a special arrangement with Carpuride, and I've managed to negotiate a 32% discount for my viewers. So if you were to get, and if you're in Australia and you were to get one of this in Australia, after the discount, it'll cost you about 400 Aussie dollars, which I think is not a bad price point for a device like this. Now, for those of you who are new into this sort of Android Auto, Apple CarPlay device, I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown of how it actually works, right? So basically, what this thing does is it actually mirrors the information of your phone. So you either connect. So it depends whether you're using an Android phone or you're using an Apple phone. It actually connects through the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay interface, similar to what you have in cars these days. And with that, you are then able to run your music, you are able to run your navigation and so on. So in terms of navigation, there are several apps out there that you could use. So the common ones are like Waze and Gaia, and also Google Maps. But obviously if you're doing more urban riding, Google Maps and Waze should actually do it for you. But if you're deciding to do a bit more of off-roading riding and off the grid sort of riding, then you can sort of plan your routes on Gaia, and then you can run it off this device. Obviously it's going to you still need your phone in order for this to work, but the beauty about it is you're actually not exposing your phone to the elements, right? So this thing it's got a bigger screen for sure, and it's going to be clearer as well. It's mounted securely on your motorcycle, and it's going to be able to give you the information that you require, run your music and so on. And your phone can sit safely in your pocket or in your top box. You can leave it charging while you're riding and so on. You don't have to have your phone with you, and that's the whole idea behind one of these. So if you're using like the BMW connected ride cradle, which again is a really good thing, but again you need to mount your phone to there, or if you're using like the Nav 6 or so on from BMW, that's again a very specific navigation device run by Garmin, and a lot of people don't really like it. There's been a lot of complaints about it. Again, it's really up to you, but this is a good alternative in my opinion. So in terms of the actual packaging, it actually comes, this is probably the most simplest packaging. It's no different from the previous version in terms of the packaging, and all you really get in the box is basically an instruction manual, and that's about it. All you get in there is an instruction manual. They also come with this screen protector, which I've removed, but it comes with this instruction manual, which is all in English, and it's quite in my opinion, it's quite, they've got all the information you need. It's quite thorough and so on. You can take your time to read it and so on if you like, but really a lot of these devices these days are made to be self-explanatory, and you're able to run it fairly easily. And I'm hoping that with watching this video, it also helps you to understand how this device actually works. So with that, let's jump on the bike. I'll just plug on this device on the bike, and then we can see, I can run through you how some of the functions work, and we can take it from there. Cheers. Alright, so let's show you how we get this device onto the motorcycle. Right, so here to put it in, it's pretty easy. It just goes in that way. Now remembering, it's got this chip there, and the chip is actually surrounded by this nice rubber gasket on the periphery, and that prevents water from going in and short circuits and so on. So that's a nice touch that they've added. Now to put it in, it just goes in at the bottom like that. You can do it one hand, single-handedly. It clips in. You push in the safety clip at the side, and then you lock, and it's all there, good to go. Now when you turn the bike on, it's got the custom screen there. Again, that's a custom screen. If you want to download that screen, I've got it on my Buy Me a Coffee page. I'll put the link down in the description below. Alright, so we're back in the main interface. Now you can know, so basically in order to actually control this, all you need to do is, you've got this menu button here. If you push it all the way down, you can actually control your BMW info screen, right? Now if you push it all the way up and hold it, you can see that you get this navigation thing pop up at the top. That means you are in the actual mode here. So now I'm just going to run through a few things here. That is the time of how long the device has been on. Here you've got your brightness. I've set it to auto at the moment, and then here you got the mode. You can switch to the bright mode or the dark mode. I'll leave it in the dark mode. You got your temperature there. This one is your brakes, your front and your back. So if I hit my brake here, you can see it sort of lights up there, which is good. That's the engine temperature. This one, it says fuel, but it's actually not fuel, it's actually your throttle input. So if I move my throttle, you can see it brings that up. That's my battery voltage. It is dropping, so I got to be quick. This is my RPM, and then here I've got my speed. If I tap and hold that, I can change it to miles an hour, and if I tap and hold that again, it goes back to kilometers an hour. That's my lean angle. If I lean the bike, you can see it leans. That's the lean angle there. That's the trip meter of the actual device, how long it's been on. And that's the odometer reading from that reads off the BMW data. And here we've got the tire pressure. Now let's just talk a little bit about how this thing functions altogether. So again, I'm in the navigation mode. The two important keys is just basically your wonder wheel and the signal cancel button. And basically, as a rule of thumb, moving it right means okay, moving it left means back. Now if I want to get into the Android Auto menu, if I hold the wonder wheel to your right, it brings me into the Android Auto menu. And then you can see that the cursor is at the bottom, right? And here I can sort of go to and look at calls, meetings. That's in my Microsoft Teams. If I hold this signal cancel button, it will actually bring the cursor back all the way to the bottom, and then I can enter the main menu, which is all the actual apps that I've got on my Android Auto for me to address, right? Now if I wanted to go into audio, you can see I'm in the audio there. Again, hold and my signal cancel button, it goes back to the bottom, and then I can go into maps. I can if I want to go on the top here, all I do is again hold the signal control button and it brings the menu back on the top. And if I hold the signal cancel button again, it sort of brings it back to the bottom. And then you scroll and you basically enter into whatever menu you like, really. And it's really quite that simple. There's really not much guidance I can give you on how to use this thing. It's actually quite self-explanatory. There's a lot you just play around with this and you'll work out how you do things. You'll just get used to it with time, really. Now if you want to go to the actual menu of the actual device, now remembering when you go in this main screen, if you hit the signal cancel button, it actually brings you into the main menu. Now if you move your wonder wheel to your right, it brings you into this menu here. And you can see how when I move my wonder wheel, it's actually highlighting to different settings. So again, if I wanted to go into the mountings, for example, if I move my wonder wheel to the right, it brings you into, let's say, the compass. If I move my wonder wheel backwards to the left, it takes you out of that, and then you can sort of scroll, and now it's gone up to the audio section. Again, back, you press and hold the signal cancel button, it'll sort of bring you back to the bottom. You can see I'm back to iPlay now, and if you press and hold, you see how it moves, and it just moves the cursor across, and you can sort of control things. Now in terms of the audio, it is recommended that you use the iPlay Android Auto setting rather than the Bluetooth transmission setting. I find that the iPlay Android Auto works the best. And then you can also, on here, there is certain backgrounds that you can sort of change. You can see the backgrounds are changing. You've got the help menu there if you want to contact Carpuride for any help. You've got the screen brightness I've talked to you about. You've got the equalizer here if you want to use it. I don't know why you would, but that function is there. And basically if you want to go back out, again just wonder wheel and move it to your left, it brings you to the main screen. And if you move it once, it goes back into the menu, because depending on where the cursor is. And then if you go here into the information button, you can see you've got the information which talks to you about how much, it tells you basically your trip information. But you can also see I've also got the R1250GS Adventure logo here, which I've put on. So if you're interested in getting this on your Carpuride device, I've got a free downloadable on my Buy Me a Coffee page, and you can download that for free. So that's just a quick run through, guys, on the function of how this thing works. We'll go and jump on the bike, we'll go for a ride, and we can talk a little bit more as we ride. Alright, so I hope you found the walkthrough handy, and I hope that was helpful. Now we'll just jump on the bike and we'll go for a ride, and I will talk to you a little bit more about how the actual device functions while you're on the road, so just to give you a bit of a first-hand experience, and then we can come back and we can do a quick summary, and I'll also talk to you about some of the pros and cons that I found with this device and share with you my honest opinion on what I think, and then we can end the video. So let's jump on the bike and go for a ride. Alright guys, I'm on the bike now, and as you can see, I've got the Carpuride device now in the Android Auto mode. And again, it's actually quite simple. The first and foremost, what you need to do is make sure that if you want to control the device for any purpose, you want to make sure that it's in the navigation mode. So all you do is you push this button up, and then you can see at the bottom it says navigation, and then if you hit the signal cancel button, I'm just going to go at this roundabout. You can see that the menu now goes into the Android. You can see the blue color circle there, and when you scroll your wonder wheel, you can sort of just move things around, right? If I want to go into audio, I go into that, click that, hit play. I'm going to turn on my Cardo unit. Just turned it on now, and it should play music. And you can hear the music playing in my helmet. So that's music for you. I'm going to turn that down. Now if I hit the signal cancel button again, you can see that it's the icon is there, and I can scroll and go to maps. So now I'm in Google Maps, sorry, in Waze is what I'm using at the moment. If I want to go, I can just scroll through into the menu there. I'm just riding around my housing area, and I can just scroll into the menu, and if I wanted to search an address, I can just go and search for an address, and then you know, if I wanted to go to a Royal Children's Hospital, for example, hit there. For example, it's the Royal Children's Hospital, and then I can go scroll the menu down until it goes to go now, and then it starts to navigate, and it takes me through where I want to go. If I want to cancel, just hit cancel there. It's cancel the navigation. Again, hold the signal cancel button. It brings you back to the bottom, and then go into that, and you can go into the Android Auto menu, which has got all the options there for you to sort of look at, you know, any apps and so on that you want to sort of use, you can use from here. If you want to make a call, you can make a call as well. You know, you can just go back to recent contacts, and this is all just by using the two important bits, which is the signal cancel button and the wonder wheel function. That's all you need to do, and it's going to take a bit of playing around for you to sort of get your head around how this thing works in terms of the usability. But eventually you will get a hang of it. There's not much, no matter how much I try and to give you tutorials, you have to play with it to sort of understand how it works. But nevertheless, it does work, and it's quite doable. It's not hard in any way, shape or form. The one thing that I can't seem to get to work is the Google Assistant. So if I go there, what's the time? see, it doesn't quite work, and I don't know why I can't get it to work. I have a feeling it's to do with the connected ride app that I've also connected the phone onto to log my rides with the BMW app. So I think that might be the reason. But I know a lot of people out there are having similar problems, and I'm happy to use the device without that. The Android, the Google Assistant function, I'm quite happy with that. Seems to work pretty well for me. Now, if I want to go to the main menu, trying to do two things here. Just press and hold the wonder wheel to your left, and then it goes into this main menu screen. And here you can see I've got my signal. It says my indicator is on. That only works when you are in the navigation mode. If you go out of the navigation mode, sometimes it doesn't work. So if I cancel the signal now, so even I've cancelled my signal, it's a glitch there. It's still saying that I'm indicating, but I'm not. So that's a bit of a glitch in the system, unfortunately, which I'm sure they will fix. I will report this back to so now that I've cancelled the signal, it's gone away. So the signal sort of function only works when you are in the navigation mode. But you can see now I'm holding my brakes, both front and rear brakes, and it's sort of picked up there as well. And you can see that the tire pressure is also picked up. My tire pressure, it's currently in PSI, so 33.35 PSI there, and for the front, and 36.83 for the rear. So that works pretty well too. It's got the battery voltage, the throttle, and so on. If I want to go into, I'll just wait for this traffic light to turn while I'm waiting. If I want to go into the menu button, again just hold the cancel key. That brings you there, and this brings you into the actual device menu button, and that takes you into the settings on the device, which I really don't see why you would be using it much. And if you scroll, you can go into the info screen. That's the BMW R1250GS Adventure, and if you want to download that, I've got a free downloadable in my Buy Me a Coffee page. I'll put the links below. And basically that's it, guys. It's a really simple system to use, and as you can see, I am able to demonstrate doing that, riding in traffic, able to control it with the wonder wheel. You will get a hang of it. It does take a bit of time, no doubts, but once you get a hang of it, it's actually pretty easy to use. It's not very hard at all. So that's you know what I think about it. The only issue I've got at the moment is I actually feel that the screen is a little bit too big for my liking, and it obstructs my actual the TFT display on my BMW, so I can't see the top sides of things. So I sort of have to move around to see what riding mode I'm on and so on. So that's a problem for me. But when I had this on the F900GS, this wasn't actually a problem at all. So that worked pretty well. So found it quite helpful there. It's good that it's reading all your native information. You can see I'm in first gear now. All of that is really good. It's nice that it's got all of that. But really, you would find that if you buy this device, 99% of the time you're going to be in the Android Auto mode. And in order to go back to Android Auto, just hit that button there, and bang, you're in Android Auto mode again. So 99% of the time you are in Android Auto mode. It is very hot today, so let's get back to the site and we will do a summary of this video. Alright, so we are back from our ride, and I think that hopefully that was good enough and sort of gave you a real glimpse of what you're up for if you decide to buy one of these devices. Now, I did find a few issues with the device. I'll be honest with you. One thing I felt was that I think that the 7-inch screen might actually be a little bit too big. I don't know whether you realize, but I did mention when we were riding earlier that it sort of obstructs the top of my display unit on the actual GS1250 Adventure. Having said that, when I was riding the F900GS, it was fine because the mounting was, you know, on the top, so I didn't have much issues with it obstructing your meter. But definitely on the Rhino, it does actually affect your view a little bit. Having said that, I'm sure you could actually adjust the navigation cradle bracket. There are some pros with having a bigger screen. Obviously, you know, it's easier for you to look at and so on. So, but for me, I personally think a 6-inch would be the sweet spot. So Carpuride make a 5-inch and a 7-inch. So I think a 6-inch is what they actually need to make. Having said that, it's really up to individuals. It still works brilliantly well, and it's bright enough. It's got the auto dimming function and so on. So that's all pretty good. The one big gripe I actually have about the actual device is there is no over-the-air updates. So that is the problem. There's no over-the-air updates, and you don't even know whether you're running the most current version on it. So having said that, the support team with Carpuride are actually quite helpful. So whenever I've emailed them, they get back to you really quickly, often within 24 hours with a fix. So they can either send you a download patch or an update or so on, and then you can sort of run it on the device, and then it sort of fixes itself. And so that sort of things is good, but it'll be good if we can actually work out which is whether you're running the most current software version and so on. So all the competitors out there, so especially with Chigee, for example, Chigee comes with over-the-air updates, which connects to the Wi-Fi. It updates over the air seamlessly, and that's good. So I think they're really lacking in that side. So Carpuride probably needs to work a little bit more on that side of things and get the over-the-air updates available. In terms of the build quality, is fine. It's not as premium as the other brands, but they've definitely made a significant improvement, and I think from the price point that it's coming at, it's actually pretty good, really. Now there is, as you are aware, there's a lot of quirks with audio connectivity with these devices, right? And I honestly, I think it's a bit of a hit and miss when it comes to using the Google Assistant. For example, I don't have an Apple phone, so I haven't tested it with an Apple device. But the Google Assistant sort of it's a hit and miss with things. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've tried multiple ways of connection and so on. It's just a hit and a miss with the Carpuride. The Chigee, they had a recent update, and I think that has fixed the problem. Having said that, I've got a lot of people commenting on my videos that it doesn't work for them. So to be honest, I think this is probably a section that probably all the manufacturers out there have to work on. And I think the issue is with the number of connections out there and the connectivity using your comms device and so on. So what I think the actual problem is with the BMWs, you can actually log your rides using the connected app, right? So if you've got the BMW connected app, and if you connect your phone with the BMW connected app, it actually logs your rides. And as you can see, today when I got on, because my phone is actually connected, it actually has logged my ride from home to this spot here, and it's actually logged it pretty well. And I think that actually causes a bit of a conflict with the whole connection as well. So you can't have everything really. So I do like this logging function. I actually find it quite helpful. So I think I choose this over the Android Auto, over the Google Assistant function. Look, if I need to, I'm happy to stop the bike and key in an address or reply to a text or whatever it is. Most of the time, I rather just, if there's an urgent thing, I'm happy enough to make a call while I'm on the go. So that sort of works for me in that sense. So I'm sorry I'm unable to help you much with the a solution for the Android Auto, but that's just how it is. So really, that's the only thing really that I've got to say. Now from the price point, is actually quite competitive. If I've said to you, if you use my affiliate link, 32% discount, I do get a kickback as well. So I really appreciate if you do use the affiliate link. that actually brings down the price to about $400 with delivery. So I think that's pretty good for what you get. Support is really good. You can do a few customizations, which I've shown you earlier. The startup screen, you can put a custom startup screen. You can change the info menu, and you can load the info of your exact bike type. So if you go to my Buy Me a Coffee page, which I will put a link in the description below, you will have free downloads there, and I've got a few bikes that I've already put it on there, and a few startup screens which you can sort of download for free. And then there's instructions on how you load it on the device, and really that's it. So all in all, would I buy one? I think it all depends on what I'm in the market for. It is good, definitely. I do like the fact that it integrates with the native BMW data, so that's a big plus. So yes, I think in short, I would buy one definitely. If it was my money, I would definitely buy one of this. I think it comes from a quite competitive price point. It has got its downsides, which I've spoken to you about, but I think it does what it intends to do pretty well. I'm not sure how it would work in really high temperatures or really cold temperatures. I don't know whether they have done any testing in that. It's really hard to test, high soaring temperatures unless you're out riding in really hot days. I know the competitors out there, they have actually tested their devices to actually withstand high and low temperatures, and they've got, it doesn't overheat and so on. So this thing is probably obviously made at a bit of a budget, I suppose, but for the price, I think you really can't go wrong with this. So definitely, if you're looking at getting one of these, use the affiliate links below, and that should get you a bargain. So with that, guys, I just want to thank you for staying tuned to this video. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope I've got the information across to you pretty well. And again, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Do like, do share, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios. Bye-bye.